I don't think people realize, Joe, how difficult it can be for a quarterback. You just gave the different attributes of 3 different receivers that you have to get used to all of them. Their different speeds, their different route running abilities. Are you there? Are you on the same page with all of them now, or is this just a constant learning thing?
Like I said, I think we're always growing, and I think that's a good thing just because I think we just got room to get better. But listen, the most important thing is for those guys to get open. And as long as they're open, then the picture's good for me. I don't necessarily have to see all the stuff that happens before that. All I have to see is them in a hole. And that's a very it's an awesome thing for me to see. So they just gotta keep that up. I think our offensive line is playing awesome right now and allowing me to do those things. So it's working out great, and we just got to keep it rolling.
Joe Flacco with us, Ravens quarterback. And while we're on the subject, Joe, of wide receivers,
new one.
We have another wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens that occasionally splits out. His name is Joe Flacco. Joe, how are you embracing the idea of? I know you said you weren't comfortable with it. How are you embracing the idea of being on the wide receiver side of this thing when they bring in Lamar Jackson for some of those packages?
Yeah, hey, I don't know if I said I'm uncomfortable with it. I think I've given the politically correct answer most of the time here. No, it's all good. I think it's helping us out on offense. I think it's keeping defense. It's just another wrinkle to throw in. So I'm just trying to have fun with it and go out there and make the most of it.
Joe, and I'm interested just with Lamar in general. Your team drafts a quarterback in the first round. You've responded by having an unbelievable preseason, an unbelievable start to the season, but you're human like the rest of us and players. And when you see that, what's that relationship been like in the building now, having a young guy at your position that the organization put a draft pick into?
The relationship's been great. I think we got a really good room, guys that like to work, and I haven't really thought too much about it in terms of, how that's going to affect the team or myself. I've just kind of gone about my business and been the same person I always am. And, all that other stuff takes care of itself.
Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco with us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. I mentioned your preseason too, because outside of 2015 when you tore your ACL, you've played in 16 games of every season in your career. But we know last year in the preseason, dealing with that back, a lot of it just seemed like it was difficult going along, and backs are always tricky like that. How much of a difference does it allow for you preparation-wise going through this preseason healthy, especially this late in your career?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to... even this preseason, I think we played 5 preseason games. I think John only had me playing 2 of them, so I don't think the preseason games are the most important part, but it is nice listen, I love to play football, and sitting on the sidelines is not something that mentally I like to deal with. I'll deal with it, but it's not the most fun thing in the world. So to be able to be out there and at practice every day with the guys, and even though it sucks at times, going through the grind with them and just being part of the group, it makes all the difference in the world, and it means a lot for me to be out there for practice every day, for the games every Sunday. So. As that kind of person, it definitely meant a lot for me to be able to get out there with this training camp and feel good about everything.
Joe Flacco with us, Ravens quarterback. Joe, we've heard from a lot of QBs around the league on the roughing the passer calls that have been made against so many defensive players this year. Amazingly, your team had 11 sacks last Sunday, didn't get one roughing the passer call. A lot of QBs say, look, we appreciate the protection, but we think we may have gone too far. Where are you on this?
Yeah, I've always said that. I think we're just getting used to the fact that, 10 years ago or whenever we started all this stuff, I thought we went too far 10 years ago. Yeah, we play football. I understand that protecting your investment and the fact that we're an entertainment business and all that, but when you're taking money out of other guys' hands because of just stuff that's impossible to call, I think it's a real issue, and that's the thing. I think a lot of these new rules that are being put in, they're impossible to call. And at full speed, you can't tell. What looks like it may be illegal, isn't illegal, and what is illegal shouldn't be illegal anyway. So I think there's a lot of issues with it, and it'd probably take too long to get into all of them. But I don't agree with it.